You know, typically when a camera turns on, I guess so a normal person might want to put it away or turn it off, but no. No, right now there's a camera that is turned on. Granted, I turned it off immediately and then I thought about it and I decided to turn it back on, but nonetheless, now that there's a camera turned on, the anniversary of my adopted parents' death, I can't help but think something's happening. I've been getting dreams recently, you know, the typical stuff. Last time I even touched this thing was when LPAG showed up and told me that I had to get along with everyone else, like the dude that kicked my ass and the guy that betrayed me, and then just, you know, left. And I left it at that. I had some time to think, but that was my decision, was it's over. And I just shut this thing off. But, you know, because this is my situation, of course the camera turns back on. In fact, I've been hearing the beeping the past few days, and considering how low the battery is, actually, I think it's been turning on a little bit more often than than it appears. So, you know what that means. That means I gotta update, and that means I gotta wake up from sleeping to update people that may be viewing this experience. Almost a year ago, LPAG said there was a war coming, and I haven't heard shit from it since. But everyone else fell off the radar. You know, I think Alex went about his life. I stopped speaking with Tobias, and I never found out what happened to Gabriel, so that just left me, and I wasn't about to do all this alone. I remember what the Carver did to me good and well, so I just turned this shit off. It was over, but it appears now I am left with an issue of turning on mysterious camera and very foreboding dreams, so I'm giving myself a chance to kind of, you know, turn this off and walk away. But it's recording, and I'm not gonna walk away, I don't think. It's like a call to action after like a year, you know how it is. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm gonna have to go and contact somebody and see how things are going, and maybe find out if things are going negatively. And that's my update, I guess. Oh, wow. Didn't know that would still work. Anyway, it's been a time and a half with this camera channel thing and whatnot, but I just can't go bringing a camera into another realm to train for an impending war, you know how it is, but I've learned a lot over this past year, and I feel like we could even the odds against Carver. Once everybody finishes their adventure, of course, but you know, might take a bit. Farewell, friends.